Welcome, everybody, to Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. It's Football Friday, and the show is presented by the fine folks at Fireball.
Sometimes life can get serious fast and adult responsibilities become overwhelming, but everyone needs an excuse to let loose and have some fun during the moments of stressful adulting and letting yourself have some fun. Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. Fireball takes any event to the next level, whether it's a mundane work happy hour, a crazy pregame, or just watching football with some friends. Fireball is all about flipping the script on life and turning everyday events into ones you'll be telling stories about for years. Go get your Fireball. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. That's why it's the #1 shot in the U.S. The Fireball 50 milliliter shooters are perfect to ignite a pregame, tailgate, or darty. Plus, no shot glass needed. Just crack it and knock it back. I drink Fireball. It's tonight. I'll be watching Air Force. I'll be drinking Fireball. Next time you're deciding between adulting and fun, say F it and free your fire with an ice-cold shot of Fireball.
All right, well, we got a lot of stuff to get into Football Friday. Got a few Barstool things I want to touch on first. We're going to hit the college and NFL board. We'll recap Chargers Chiefs. A few things. First of all, if you didn't check it out, last night, the second episode of our Barstool mini golf series aired. Been hearing good feedback on it. I think Jake and Nick Tarani did the play-by-play has been really, really funny. But we're 2 episodes in. It's pretty entertaining stuff. I actually was a little bummed that I didn't get to participate because I was one-man Pick Central because everybody was involved in it. What do y'all think about it?
It was a long day.
Long day?
It was a long day. It was a fun day, though. Fun day. Fun. I agree. I think the videos come out really well. Nick and Jake have been great on the call. Excited to see the next couple rounds.
Francis
There's some peeking on that leaderboard. I see it.
So Francis Ellis started back Barstool yesterday. It was announced the third member of the Big Screaming Honkers. Glad our team, Robbie and I, can keep it going. We won the original Season 1 title. Obviously, extremely hard to replace Coley. He was our captain and a legend. But pretty stoked to add a Harvard grad to our trivia team, you know. Can't be that bad.
Mitzi, did you – I know you didn't mean this. Did you realize when you quote tweeted it, you said, "We are 3, not 1"?
Yeah, I messed that up. I realized it. And
it was just funny.
You know what? That's
he said, "We are 3, not 1."
Like I say, it's a joke.
No, I know. It was just funny that.
Oh.
Like he's just
good segue.
Yeah.
A good segue from Mincy messing up. Can we pull up Mincy's
TikTok,
please? It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so
it's unreal. It's hard. I understand what you did.
I don't have a clue what the hell I'm doing.
I know.
I'm just gonna throw like
TikTok's hard, man.
Well, no, I'm just like literally about to throw crap. Like, follow me on TikTok at Barstool Mincy. Rico, what's your TikTok? I know you're working on it too.
Rico Bosco 33.
Okay, but either way, I'm trying to build my TikTok. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And so I tried to do one. Billy had one up of me and Hank working out. And so I tried to do like a split screen reanalyze it, but I must have hit the mute button.
Yeah, play it.
Getting some work in on a Sunday. They say Sunday's the day of rest, but Jesus wasn't that swole. Get your mind right. Mitch is getting his mind right. We got Hank here. Football season's coming up. We need these guys to be in impeccable form.
So you have to hit the sound thing on the top where like you mute Billy's sound, and so you could.
So and I'm voicing over.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's hey, believe me, I fucked up millions of times on TikTok. It's just there's a thing on it that says sound on the top. Click that and just put his down and yours up.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm gonna just throw crap.
No,
I'm gonna just throw a lot of crap at the wall and see what sticks. And what I've learned about Barstool, what's funny, is when you screw up, it gets more clicks anyway.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, like that's like. I feel like 70% of my good content is me accidentally screwing something up and people laughing at it. So
that's
like,
the best part because it's genuine.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever, man. Yeah. People, we're in the business of getting clicks, you know. I mean, if I had a problem getting laughed at, I'd work for a different company.
And Rico, why do you hate me?
I don't.
So why wouldn't you speak to me before the show?
Literally tweeted the thing. Don't.
So
it's Friday.
So you promise?
It's Friday. Let's go.
Football Friday.
So he doesn't promise.
Friday.
I told you before the show. I'm gonna say, hey, do you hate me? And you said, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, a few things for this weekend before we get in the show. The Zone. All our crew, there's going to be a live yak from Vegas today, I heard.
Yep.
With Dave and Dan and I believe Robbie at large maybe.
Yep.
They're going to do a live yak right after this or is it 1 o'clock Vegas time or 1 o'clock our time, guys?
I think it's 1 o'clock our time. I just recorded Spin It Back, visit Robbie. God bless him. He got up at like 7 a.m. his time so we could record it. I believe it's 1 o'clock Eastern time. I believe.
Okay, well they're going to be
Dave on the yak. You move it to Vegas.
Yeah. So they're going to do a live yak. Check out the Zone, the Canelo fight, Dave and Dan on the call. Exciting stuff late tomorrow night.
Trilogy.
Yeah.
Canelo Triple G.
Yeah.
We've had 2 awesome fights.
Yeah, this is going to be – I'm looking forward to watching it.
I am too. I'm excited.
Yeah, so what we're going to do tomorrow, we've got a college football stream. It's going to be before the Canelo fight and the Zone fight. Megan making money coming in to battle Brandon Walker with LSU Mississippi State. LSU a 2.5-point home underdog on the Barstool Sports book. It looks like we're going to go live maybe in the second half of the afternoon games, which is Auburn, Penn State. Hopefully Ole Miss, Georgia Tech's not a game, knock on wood. But we're going to maybe go live in the second half of those, and then we're doing it through LSU Mississippi State, and then we're shutting it off and going to everything toward the Canelo GG fight. So that's kind of the plan. Sunday, I want to hype. Don't forget, Dear Mr. Fantasy, Shay and I have a fantasy football show, 11:30 Eastern on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I know the millions and millions of viewers are tailgating on that. And NFL Sunday is going to be a fun one. I mean, we'll get into it when we go over the games, but Saints-Bucks is, I get a little riled up for that one. So we got about a bunch of fun stuff this weekend, as always. Just wanted to make sure I touch base on all of it. Let's get into last night. Do we have the clip of Marty watching the 4th down Chargers touchdown, guys? Zod, do y'all know if we have that?
I think they do.
They do. Marty, I'll give you credit. It was a great clip. I felt bad for you, though.
I don't have DVR, so I was like, it was just 4th down. I'm like, all right, I might as well just fucking have this out. And first of all, before we play it, the fact that Herbert was too hurt to run at one point.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 could walk for it and literally couldn't run.
He could have fell.
4th down, he fucking throws a fire.
Seed. That was a seed.
And he just fucking throws that on a perfect dime, and he didn't grimace. He didn't do nothing. And I was like, what? How do you? He could have literally, like you just said, he could have fell and he could have got a 1st down, and he just fucking does this. And then when they got to 4th down, I'm like, oh shit, this is like a perfect. They should have backdoored. We're gonna be good. Fucking wild.
Chiefs -4. Clench your asshole. You motherfucker, I stupid. I hate this fucking game.
I got into a Mincy thing. You don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I got into. I don't
Your
know.
point, I liked when you said 4 hours.
Yeah, because you sit there, and then you're like, oh shit, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. Then they got to the up 10, and I don't get this. I know Dave had Chargers, Big had Chargers. They're doing their jinxing to get Chargers, to get +4, whatever. I don't get why people say Chargers should have, like, that was the right play. I understand that at first they dominated, but it's one that wasn't a catch, that interception, and it's not my fault that they didn't catch the ball. These cornerbacks, like, why didn't they catch the interception?
The pick 6 is flipped the game.
I
think that's kind of their point.
But that's just football. Like, that's a bad throw and a bad miscommunication between. And first of all, Everett was trying to get off.
No, that was the biggest thing. Was Everett was gassed trying to get off the field.
And then they go hurry up. It's like, well, if you can't go hurry up if the guy he can't do anything. He didn't even. The fact that he went to him after that's crazy too. I don't know. I just think it fucking stupid gambling. But regardless.
You asked for it.
I asked for it. I said it was easy.
They haven't even apologized to me. It ruined my life. I knew it. I knew it all along. The second day, I
was kind of.
Why do you got to get cute?
Me?
Yeah, you.
It's not cute.
Why? But I know you too well.
The 4 points.
Like, why you got to be now? It's like, you gotta. Why you gotta? I don't know. It's like you're like. Like, you have to, it's got to put a little extra something. Why is not the reverse jinx just win? Why is that not good enough? Why you got to say it's the easiest thing ever?
You know why?
Why you have to test fate?
Because you're right. I shouldn't have. I apologize.
Because I knew it. Once they got the ball back, I knew. I was like, oh, this is bad. 10. This is not.
I knew once. I
tweeted. I was like, we're gonna get backdoor. Like,
who was it?
KC kind of fucked up throwing the ball. Like, I know a score ends the game to get up 2 touchdowns, essentially.
Well, I
thought they were getting a little too cute, not running and making Chargers take all their timeouts or wasting more clock.
Yeah, honestly, I almost thought Edwards, even though I don't know if he would have scored.
What was he doing when holding the ball like that? I understand that.
I understood just because they don't like. You'd rather hold the ball to the end, But then the 15-yarder made it almost impossible because they would have had to either score or they would have had to do something. They couldn't. There was not enough time to get timeouts and like run the clock out. But oh god, I mean, like him throwing that fucking ball after he literally was so hurt he couldn't move.
That's what I don't.
I have one thing. I was.
And then on the 4th down, I thought I was like,
kick the field goal.
Please kick a field goal. Please
That's what I thought because
field goal.
you got to get 2 scores anyway and get the onside.
And Andy Reid and Staley were literally in like a heavyweight title fight to see who could be the most conservative all game.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, now he wants to go for it on 4th down when the game's over. Or you're down 10.
Chiefs
with 40 seconds left, whatever it was.
That's actually a good point. Like if you were down 10 and you got into and you had a bomb kicker and 3 timeouts.
That's why I thought they would kick.
As soon as you get to range, kick the field goal.
Well, I think you play. I think you play it out, but just because like if you can score, obviously you want to do the harder one first. But I just think you get to 4th down. I sort of understand going for it just because the lack of time. You're inside the 10. Like if they were on the 20, I definitely kick it.
I'm flipping
they
it.
kick it 100%.
Like, I get the ball back and I get to the 40, and my guy could hit a 60-yarder. Like
They almost got the onside.
They did.
That onside was. I got to interrupt this because it's tomorrow, a holiday at Barstool, the 6 Iron Kid Day, and he's on the line. Last year, I was newer to Barstool, and I didn't know better. And I went against the 6 Iron Kid, and I lost money when Louisville beat Central Florida money line, and I'm going to learn from my mistake. Ebo, do we have the 6 Iron Kid? What's up, man? Welcome to Pick Central. Your holiday tomorrow. We're glad to have you back. How are you?
Boys. I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys. I can't believe it's here. It's here. It's one day away, 24 hours. The celebration. It's on. It starts today at noon, and it goes up into the game. It's been a rough year for me, really, and individually.
I don't want to hear. Oh, sorry.
But no, it's been a rough year. I got kicked from my fantasy league. People questioned it, but the one thing that remains certain is September 17th, 2012, 10-year anniversary, 3 years on the show. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., boys. I got it. I found the pick.
Let's hear it.
10 a.m., Indiana, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky money line.
Boom. Kelly in Vegas already has that in her parlay, too.
I was already on Western Kentucky.
Not that bad. It's a good
This is more than anything. 3 years straight. Boys, I'm going to be at the pool sipping Fireball. This is big. I missed you. I missed you especially, man.
They're like plus 7, 6.5, 7 at Indiana.
I was already on them with the points. I genuinely like to play. Thank you, 6 Iron Kid.
I will not be going against you again. I learned that the hard way. That's for damn sure.
Why'd you get kicked from your fantasy league?
Boys, we'll see you bright and early in the morning.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck tomorrow, Hilltoppers.
No luck. It's not me, boys. It's the day. Love you, boys.
Shoot me a DM tomorrow, 6 Iron Kid. Love you.
Well, you were already on that game, huh, Ev?
I was out. They were going to be on the card with the points. So now a little sprinkle on the money line as well. Maybe even a little bigger bet on the spread. I really genuinely like the play. I think Indiana's not as a favorite at home. I don't know. I just think it's a good spot for Western Kentucky. They should have beat them last year.
Yeah, it was a shootout. I remember I had the over last year and it went over. But no, Indiana had that weird. They were down 10-0 at half to Idaho last week off that Illinois when they came back second half. But I mean, they're certainly beatable. And I could see it. All right, we're gonna get into college. And do y'all want to jump through some college first or pro?
Wait, real fast. Of yesterday, pussiest move, down 17-14, kicking a field goal there. I think
the Chiefs on second to go forward to go with the one.
The Chiefs stopped them. The past 2 drives before that, right? Like 3 and outs or something. Like their defense was killing it. You're on the half-yard line. I don't understand. Like I understand. I get tie the game, whatever. No matter they're on the half-yard line or you're scoring a touchdown. Why wouldn't you go for that? I don't.
It's like PTSD from when they went for the touchdown instead of getting the field goal in the AFC Championship before the half.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah,
remember that?
They both had it. I couldn't believe Staley was like Mr. Go for it last year. He was punting. He was kicking everything 4th and 2, 4th and 1. Also, Kansas City. I thought their 3rd and short play calls all game were terrible.
Bad, yeah.
Terrible. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, that one they had second. McKinney got the ball in the first. after the big like Kelsey play. He runs into the 1. I just don't understand their third and short play calls. They were just very predictable, very just like, I mean, they got stuffed every time. I just didn't understand it.
And Mike Williams is a dog.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that first quarter, he hit us over. No, we missed our freaking fantasy pod parlay by 15 Eckler rushing yards. Mike Williams hit us over, was on it in the first quarter.
Yeah, he killed it.
I mean,
He had 6 catches in like the first quarter.
Yeah, the Chiefs did do a good job adjusting second half. He only had 2 catches in the second half. And Herbert, I mean, the Chargers offense struck. You know, they were up 17-7 in that game, and then the Chiefs ran off 20 in a row. Rare moment. I'll never do this again, but to prove I actually do occasionally write blogs, I said KC 27-24 in the blog and hit the score on the nose yesterday.
I bet it. That would have been a huge hit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's probably gonna happen once every 3 seasons, hitting the exact score like that. But either way, I'm more saying it was a thinly veiled brag. I see Marty Mush climbing up the blog rankings. I see Rico writing blogs. So I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I'm trying to do a little better.
Oh yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
Where does Mahomes get to another AFC Championship or a Super Bowl? And I know it's only been 4 years.
He's made it for AFC Championship every year.
Where do you start to put that in terms of like that? I'm not saying he's Brady, but the Brady run of where like they were programmed into the AFC Championship or Super Bowl.
Dude, I think he is
right. Like
Brady didn't make the playoffs his second year. He's made the playoffs every year, gotten to the championship, Super Bowl. Like he is kind of better than what Brady's even.
Yeah, the thing the Brady thing is longevity, because like the Brady thing that was so crazy was they won the 3 and 4 years and they didn't win again for like a long time, and then he had like the second run where they won 3 more.
And I don't think he's going to win the 6 Super Bowls. He probably should have won the one against Tampa if he had any kind of offensive line. Andy Reid's
they got smoked in that.
Yeah, they got their ass beat.
Andy Reid's home life fell apart. They had no O-line.
So 31.
I got it.
Say they should have won. They got their asses kicked.
The one they screwed up was that Chiefs, the Bengals second half last year. I mean, they were up 21. They were up 21-10 at the.
One was when they lost the AFC Championship game to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yes.
When
it was like a coin flip.
Clark jumped off sides in the. That was the one they should.
It was D Ford who jumped off sides.
That was excuse me, D Ford. That was the one they should have won. I feel like.
I'm just saying, like you start to look at it, like Brady was like programmed to be in the AFC Championship game.
Oh yeah, people always said the Pats season starts in the AFC Championship.
Mahomes
has made it 4. He started 4 years. He's made 4 AFC Championship games. Made it to 2 Super Bowls and won 1.
Right.
This year is the one that's fascinating because, like we said, everybody was down on the Chiefs going in after they lost Tyreek, and it's kind of turned the narrative. I mean, Marty, I actually agreed kind of with what you said. Everybody was saying yesterday, the narrative on Mahomes is kind of reminds me of the Steph Curry Golden State thing, where like everybody loved it at first, and then everybody got tired of it.
Yeah,
and it kind of seems a little similar to me. But either way, look, it might have not been pretty last night, but that's a huge win early in the year over a great AFC West team, and the Chargers, they're 2-0. You got to be happy with that start.
His wife really needs to stop tweeting and doing anything.
Yeah, dude,
it's like, let the man
it's so
fucking
cringy.
play football and stop.
I forgot I was always tweeting Jackson the King after every win. I'm 0 for 2 now. I didn't do it for the first 2 weeks, but
yeah, no,
I think he's so bad he's good. I actually think it's hilarious.
I think they were trying to. I didn't see what happened last night with it, but they were making an effort to dial down the wife and Jackson this year. Patrick was.
Yeah, because just like Patrick doesn't do anything. He just plays and like. I remember that one video when he's trying to eat
at the Texas Tech
and
game?
He's just so sad.
It was the one he's like, you can tell he's like shut up.
Just like, let me be the person to play, and like you don't need to tweet out being like, oh, I guess we could hit lower on the quarterback now. It's like, what is that gonna do? Doesn't help him at all.
He definitely took a few, like the one they called where they called it that Wiley threw him into him. I thought that was a bad call, but there were some calls that went both ways that weren't great.
Now, Chiefs did a great. I'm wondering how banged up Herbert is. I mean, they've got a longer week because it was a Thursday night game, but man, when he on that 3rd and 1 did not walk for that first down and fall down, he's freaking hurt.
That was
he's not. Nobody thinks he's soft.
Did anyone ask what happened? Like
there was like a broken ribs.
No, I thought it
was.
On the 3rd down, like. He had 20 yards, and like I know he could have just went to the first down and like took a knee, like he could have slid or something, but I guess it hurt that bad.
He must have just tweaked it like in that exact moment. Must have just moved it the exact wrong way where he almost just like shut down. He just was like he just hit the eject button.
Even with that, like I said,
he literally could have just like fell
forward,
but almost had
the ball. It's like
could have rolled to the first.
I also think the Chiefs, even though they wanted to win the game, would have felt so bad they would have just touched them. They wouldn't even have like.
That's crazy.
Just let them get it.
All right, let's get into some other NFL games. We'll touch on some college as well in the show. All right. NFL, or actually, you just gave me the college lines. I don't have the NFL, but all good. I can get them on my phone. I'm not worried about it. All right, NFL Sunday, bunch of stuff to get to. We got a pretty good slate here. I want to start with y'all's boys, the Giants. What a thrilling Week 1 win. Now Giants 2-point favorites over Carolina. Feels like a very close game coming. Atmosphere should be awesome off the win, and there's a lot of good spirits with the Dabble coaching.
I see the Wake Martindale press conference, boys.
I didn't see
it. Got me fired up.
I didn't see it.
He basically was like, I need Giant like MetLife to be as loud as fucking possible, going nuts. He basically demanded the fans that they need to run out of a silent count. He was like, this is the new regime, new culture. He was like the new culture, not just like the team, like you guys are part of that too. Like I need the stadium rocking,
which is crazy
loud as hell when
the
they're
Giants
on offense.
have a good culture. So to but it's been bad.
He's like we're everything. Just read the whole thing, and it literally had me ready to run through a brick wall.
I said it on Money Shots.
Made me want to be at the game.
I know it's an overreaction. I said it on Money Shots the other day. Like you start to look at the Giants' schedule at 5-1 in that division. Panthers, Cowboys, both at home. Bears at home. At Packers, but it's Germany or London. It's not really there. It's probably a loss. That is what it is. Ravens again at home. Loss is what it is. At Jaguars, at Seahawks, bye. Texans, Lions, Cowboys again. Before that gets you to November. That's Thanksgiving. That gets you to Thanksgiving. And then you go Commanders, Eagles, Commanders, Vikings, Colts, Eagles.
Not too bad.
So to have 10 of the first games be like where you could possibly go 8-2, 7-3.
Crazy.
That's not out of the fucking realm.
It's not, but
if we were 8-2, I'd come.
I'm.
They got to win Sunday though. That's the thing.
This is such
That's a lot of wins to go, but
it's a lot of bad. Like
it is. No, it is. They're winnable games.
Yeah, at Seattle now,
a lot of winnable games.
Seattle is way better than I thought they were going to be. Like I was penciling that in for a win, but
them winning
preseason. But
first game puts this game. I'm so confused because it's like at first I was like, oh, they'll beat the Panthers, and now this is such a letdown game for them usually. Like Panthers coming off a loss. Everyone kind of down on them, and the Giants are all this hype. I'm just, as a Giants fan, this. You have to think about it like this.
I'm trying.
New season.
I believe this is a new regime,
new culture.
This isn't Gettleman.
Yep.
This isn't Judge. This isn't Shermer. This is Brian Daboll's.
And to get completely
Daboll's, I love that.
We talked about it all the time. Like I know things will shake out how they shake out, but the second best team in the NFC right now is the Vikings. The NFC is not.
No, you're right. You're right in terms of the NFC's down for sure.
If you're telling me where would I rather be? I'd rather be in the NFC than the AFC.
No doubt.
Oh, I agree.
I think the Bucks are down. I don't think the Bucks are a clear-cut one. The Cowboys are.
I think it's very, very up in the air right now.
Eagles are going to eagle. You don't know what's going on there. They're building something though. So I mean, who knows? But I just don't think there's that many clear-cut Super Bowl contenders out in the NFC.
Are any of y'all going to lay the 2 with the Giants Sunday, or? Yeah, Evelyn's confident. Marty's not going to.
I'm gonna bet it. I mean,
I think I'll take it too.
I just want to watch the game.
One, I'm be shocked if nobody's on this one. How do you not take the Jaguars?
I love the Jaguars. I mean, I know it looks obvious.
The Colts, home dog.
I just had the Colts
there in years.
Colts always play bad in Jacksonville. I think I like it too. I think it feels like a close game. I mean, 3.5's a lot in a game that could go either way. It's Doug Peterson's home debut in Jacksonville. I mean. The Colts thing last week's weird because it's like that was embarrassing to be down 20-3, and I know a tie's whatever, but they still fought back from 17 down. I mean, that's not nothing on the road, but I agree with you, Rico. I'm on Jacksonville. Do y'all have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, probably on Jacksonville.
I don't.
Jacksonville or pass.
Plus 3.5 and 45 on the Barstool Sports book. We're kind of running through these. Miami's plus 3.5 at Baltimore. Rico, you and I both, I feel like our instincts like the Ravens on this one. A little bit. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah. That's the one that jumped out to me that maybe I was a little too high on the Ravens. I probably it's again, I'm trying to limit sides in the NFL. I would go Jaguars, Ravens, Giants, and then Maybe the Lions, weirdly?
I'm on the other one on that one. I think the Commanders, Vegas just has a low power ranking on them. I know it's weird that they look like an underdog, and so it's kind of like, why are the Lions favored? But I just think Vegas has a bad power ranking on Washington, and I don't think they're that bad.
No, they're not that bad. Wentz looked great in that first game. Not that, the Jaguars' defense isn't great, but he looked really good. They got a good set of receivers. Curtis Samuel's healthy. McLaurin.
Yeah, and Dotson scored.
Yep.
All of a sudden, they went from McLaurin was all they've had. Now they got 3. Logan Thomas is coming off a knee injury, but he's back out there at tight end. No, I don't know. I lean Commanders. I lean Commanders on that one. I got to touch on Bucs Saints here for a second. Do y'all think Bucs by 2.5 looks ratty? Because I do.
I'm going to be on the Saints.
Saints are.
It's the formula.
Yeah, and also let me just say this: Stephen Shea. Give me a damn break. We're going at it on Twitter. He's just like, the only thing the Bucs care about are Super Bowls. You talk about trusting the data. Well, you're damn sure spins on some data that the Bucs are 1-8 in their last 9 against Tampa, and you can slice that stat however you want. And yeah, the one game is a playoff game, so it counts more than one. I get all that, but for you to say the Bucs aren't concerned about the fact that they've just gotten owned in this series for 4 years. I think is a great stretch, and there's a lot of hatred on the Bucs side fan base toward New Orleans.
They seem to match up with them incredibly well. The Saints do defensively. Mike Evans and Lattimore always have these crazy back and forths that Lattimore, for the most part, has gotten the better of them most of those games, most of those matchups. No, that was one to me immediately that, looking at the opening lines, I jumped out, I circled Saints. I was like, that just 2.5 coming off that win, prime time. I like fading teams too off, not always, but off certain primetime wins. There's just something about a standalone game that when everybody watches it, it just hits the public so much harder in their belief and their certain just kind of the narrative. And I do like fading that. And there has been obviously I know frustrated you this year. There's been kind of a big narrative this offseason that Saints are terrible. They're not that good. Where I was going to believe, not that I think they're going to be like world beaters, but their defense is very good. And when you have a very good defense, you're never going to be like, people are talking 5-12 in this. When you have a great defense, you're not gonna lose 12 games.
A couple quick things I got on it. I love your point. You're never as good or as bad as you were on Sunday or Monday Night Football, and that applies to Dallas here too, who's suddenly getting 7.5 or 8 at home because of how bad they look Sunday night. Yep. But the Saints-Bucs thing, couple quick things. Both teams got O-line problems. Bucs lost their 2 guard. Alex Capps went to Bengals. Marpet retired. Their starting center Ron Jensen's out for the year. Their left tackle Donovan Smith got hurt last week. That's not good against the Saints front. Yep. Saints side, they had a rookie left tackle who's already out, Trevor Penning. They couldn't block Atlanta for 3 quarters last week. Jameis had 60 yards passing going into the fourth quarter. So 44.5 is a low number for those teams, but I don't know. It's that part. That part of it's interesting, and then I wanted to agree with you on you're never as good or as bad as you are on Sunday or Monday night. And that applies to Seattle here, too, on Sunday, because now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, Seattle, not that bad, and Vegas still puts the damn line at 9 or 9.5. And
after how shitty
the division
Niners
game
looked,
That's why I love the Niners, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The only thing that scares me is we talked about yesterday that division's weird, that the Seahawks have really had their number, the 49ers number. That part scares me some, but I agree 100% with the sentiment where Seattle obviously looks great. They get a win. Niners look god-awful in a weird monsoon-type game in Chicago. They go up 10-0, they lose.
There's no excuse.
Don't score the second half. Then they come out this week, they're 8.5-point favorites. That might be a stay away.
I'm feeling a Trey Lance good game here. I really think there's this whole narrative is crapping on him. That was that was really weird weather for a game 1. I feel like I'm not willing to write Trey Lance off over that.
There's no excuse this week. It's he needs to play well because again, especially against the Seahawks that are supposed to be. People were saying the Seahawks may not get a win this year, and then they won the first game. So the Seahawks, he needs to show out here.
I took the under 5.5.
Yeah, I liked it too. I got it. I have it too.
Oh yeah, no. I honestly, I really do though. I seriously do think it's still going to hit. I don't think that. I think the Seahawks. That was just Russ coming back. Russ coming back. It was a lot of amped up people.
Jay is going to be dead wrong on the Jets. I think the Jets could play 20 games. They don't win 6 games.
He has over Jets 6.
Favorite bet of the year.
Over 5, I think.
That's they're so bad.
Flacco.
Even with Wilson, they're
y'all on Cleveland horrible. By 6 in this game.
I would be. they can run the ball. If you can run the ball on the Jets, you'll be all right. Like, I think if, like, you know, they'll establish something. I don't know. The Jets look like shit.
Yeah, the
roll
Flacco thing,
out there again.
Yeah, and the O-line's got injuries
In
and stuff.
Cleveland.
Cleveland's got a good pass rush.
Salah's doing this thing where he's like, I'm taking receipts. Like, dude, win a game.
Yeah, he did say I'm taking receipts. It's like, yeah, what the receipts are just true. You haven't done
There's
fucking
nothing
shit.
Yeah, you're battling.
I got a question on, so there's a lot of like the bounce back theory. We talked about the Niners. They're a big favorite. Green Bay, huge favorite at home over Chicago. I feel like that's a very obvious bounce back candidate for Green Bay, although the only thing with Green Bay is the explosiveness in the passing game. I mean, it's hard to lay 10 when they, are having trouble scoring. The one I want to mention, though, am I the only one that likes Atlanta plus 10.5 at the Rams? I see some real problems out of the Rams. Everybody's just going to act like they're going to figure it out in a week. Like, they're replacing Whitworth at left tackle. He was a leader. That backup Noteboom looked terrible. The no Von Miller, the no Odell Beckham. Like, the Falcons, if they don't have a lot, they've got good corners in Hayward and Terrell. And I thought Atlanta, maybe I'm being an idiot. I thought not that bad last week. I thought the play calling with Mariota looked pretty good. I think Mariota gives them a little pop that the Ryan playbook didn't. And I think they're going to fight. And I'm going to take 10.5
I'm with you. I think the Falcons are a lot better than people say. But this is almost the same thing where, like, a lot of people did say the Falcons would be bad this year. The people said the Seahawks would be bad. And it's like, well, the Falcons played well against the Saints, so that's what's in your brain. The Rams played bad against the Bills, that's what's in your brain, but they're still minus 10.5. It's like, that's why I'm so confused this week, because there's a lot of those huge spreads with teams that didn't play that good, and now I don't know what the fuck to do.
Well, it's also that thing where, like, we try to act like, obviously we're not, like, the best gamblers in the world, but, like, we think through angles and stuff, and you always want to be like, don't overreact to week one. I mean, that's, like, something that's in your head all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, we're waiting 6 months for football, and then the first games you see are just, like, etched in your brain so much because you've been waiting on it. But, like, the Rams analysis I have, man, Super Bowl hangover, they got all these – I feel like they actually have some problems. I'm not dogging on the Bills. I mean, the Bills crushed them, and they did what they could, but – I don't know. The Rams thing this year, I don't think it's like you snap your fingers and get back.
Didn't Pitts, like, not even get any looks last week either?
Yeah, not many.
He didn't necessarily even have a great game, and, they were a live offense. They obviously have weapons. Patterson for his life.
A couple other ones we're going to get to, and then we're going to tell you about the game that's taking the country by storm in Fowling. Denver by 10 on a bounce back at home against Houston. Anybody got thoughts on this? I'm kind of thinking stay away.
A lot of points.
I actually kind of like Denver.
Okay.
I agree. They were the one that I kind of like to take the points, and then I agree with the last one. Falcons were kind of the one that I wanted to, take the points of the Falcons, lay them on Denver, because Denver, even in that game, is as good as Geno looked at times. I mean, Denver left 1 million points on the board. They outgained them by 1,000, and they lost by 1 on a horrible clock management, just decision making at the end of the game. I mean, I think they could rout them. I mean, I don't think that's a crazy thought. I thought Judy looked really good. The offense as a whole looked good. I mean, they just couldn't punch it in. It's it's an emotional game, and you got to think about it from Denver's standpoint, where, like, Russ had only been there so long. Like Seattle, that pretty much whole team had played with Russ. You're going to get up for that game. The fan bases, clearly, they were loud as hell. They were booing him. They were cheering Geno. They were up for that game. Like, Denver, they, like, the rest of the team besides Russ, they don't really care. Like, obviously, they care about winning the game, but they don't care about the Russ Seahawks narrative.
They're probably ready to get it over with.
That's what I'm saying. They're more like distraction, where I kind of like Denver in a bounce back spot at home. Texans just they had this big lead, and they play hard. I give them credit. They played hard last year, too. They blow it. They end up getting a tie when they're up 17 late in the game. I don't want to be shocked Denver wins by like 17. I mean,
the only thing I have to add to it is last year at the end of the year, Houston was a little feisty at home. They upset the Chargers, an 11-point home dog, and they got their ass beat on the road a lot.
Yep.
Like, they were like one of those teams that was like, not that bad at home, and then they go on the road and lose by 20 or 30. So I just tried to factor that in. All right, boys, let's talk about the game that's taking the nation by storm. Fowling. Marty Mush, do you have the football today? No.
The Zada's in the back. Look at him.
All right.
Board, baby.
Got the board back there, too.
The board.
Got the board back there. Fowling is a rowdy mashup of football and bowling. The first team to knock down all 10 of their opponents' pins wins. Born at the Indy 500 in 2001.
Oh.
Fowling is wildly popular in the Midwest where it all started, and it's taking the United States by storm. It's anyone's game. You could have a tight spire, a granny roll, an underhand. You don't need to be a quarterback to win. Easily stored within latching boards, the set comes with everything you need. 20 weighted pins, 2 boards, 1 football, pump, and endless fun. So upgrade your tailgate now and use Barstool20 for 20% off plus free shipping on a Fowling set at playfowling.com. That's playfowling.com. All right, we're going to move on to college in a sec, but want to give the floor. Do y'all have any thoughts, Raiders, Cardinals?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to skip.
Over 1.5 passing touchdowns from each. Parlayed is plus 163.
On that's so Murray and Carr?
A lot of points in that game.
Yeah, I like the over. I like the Raiders as well.
Me too. I think Arizona may stink, boys.
The other game that I really like as well, I really like the Steelers.
Cliff Kingsbury never came close in the Big 12.
No.
I feel like he's
Right?
like
I'm not misremembering that. He never came close. Ebo, what was the closest they came?
he had Patrick Mahomes too.
I'll have to look it up. I'm not really sure.
No, I mean he had Mahomes.
They weren't not really. I
They just
mean,
were never there, right?
they just scored a lot.
I don't know. It's just interesting that like the NFL gives the keys to these guys to like. And
I mean, it was Murray.
offensive
It was a perfect storm for him. Where it was, they had the number 1 pick. He coached Murray. That's all it was. I mean,
yeah, it's just interesting that a guy like that never wins in college and he gets the keys to the NFL. But it's just weird. They might be bad.
My only point on Kingsbury, he's like a gimmicky guy, and he comes in the NFL and it works for a little bit. But now people know what he's about. He's got to adjust. Is he capable of it? I don't know.
I'm telling you, and you got to think, you got to think like without Hopkins, like Hopkins can be such like a scapegoat guy, just like throw it up to him kind of guy. And even how I love like we talked about the other day, like Jason Brown was on his point out how like him just blatantly missing like unblocked guys. Like I don't think he knows how to read a like defense very well, go through his progressions and all that. I'm not a big Murray guy. I'm not a big Cardinals guy, especially without Hopkins. They lost Chandler Jones on defense. I mean, I like the Raiders, like the over. I think this could potentially be like a disaster year for the Cardinals.
I don't know how
really
to look at this, but did you see the video of Trey Lance that got leaked? That he after the loss he was at the strip club just throwing ones on
Saw
people.
Very funny.
On strippers, not people. Strippers.
I did not see that. It's
something.
That's a tough look.
It's something. He was having a grand old time.
Chicago?
What?
In Chicago?
I don't know. I don't know.
I did not see that video.
I got back to San Francisco straight off the plane.
Yeah, that's a wild move either way. Like, did they get stuck because of the weather in Chicago? And
he probably he got some.
That's how he
probably
coped with
got
it,
some
or
hours
they
back in San Francisco. So he
you got 3 hours, 2 hours. Yeah,
2 hours back.
That's wild.
Very funny videos on Twitter.
We'll save the Monday games for Monday, but it is cool that we got the 2 games Monday night: Titans, Bills, and Vikings, Eagles. Bengals. Two last games to touch on quickly. Bengals, Cowboys. Look, Ev, this Cowboys thing's everything you just said about the Sunday night, Monday night thing.
Yep.
And like everyone knows Dak's out. Everyone's crapping on the Cowboys all week. Do I think the Cowboys are going to win this game? Maybe not. But this one reeks of Dallas fighting hard and losing by 3 to me. It just reeks of like everyone's going to just pile on Cincy because they're 0-1 and they got Burrow against Cooper Rush and Dallas look bad. Cincy could win by 4 touchdowns and I could be wrong. I mean, I think they got out a close game and Dallas.
That's kind of how I think it goes. Like I think it's either like a neck and neck game or they lose by 1,000. Like I don't think it's like the Cowboys fight hard, they lose by like 7, 10. I think they either lose by like 20 or it's like you said, like 3.
There's one you didn't touch on.
At Steelers.
Yeah.
I love the Steelers.
What's going on with Mac Jones? He's sick.
I think he's going to play, though.
I do, too. I don't think New England would be favored by 2 if Vegas didn't think he could play.
It's
I
gross.
refuse to believe that they'd favor Hoyer.
It's 40.5. Didn't Pittsburgh get a defensive score last week?
They did.
Okay. Under?
Yeah, no, I don't hate it. I mean, Steelers.
No, Watson.
I'm betting the Steelers
like,
because of their defense.
Yeah.
That's why I'm betting them in this game. At home, Pittsburgh's a tough place to play.
I just don't think the Patriots can score. Like, I really don't think they're that good.
No, I don't think they're that great either.
Especially with fucking Hoyer.
But they didn't get lit up on offense. Oh, I'm sorry, they didn't get lit up on defense either. Would they limit the Dolphins?
It was
20-7 final.
Okay, so their defense is still pretty respectable.
Yeah, Miami went.
Of course.
Yeah,
Belichick defense is always going to be solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. The over/under's not high, but I see the logic. And the other thing, we'll see if Mac Jones plays. But I mean, he usually, while he's not spectacular, he doesn't throw like a million picks either. Like that's the only thing when you bet those low over/unders is that turnovers and stuff can screw you, even if you're right on the game, because the sudden change.
Yeah. Well, if you go touchdown instead of field goal that you need, you're fucked at it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Jerry brought up that interesting stat. Tomlin is. The Steelers underdog thing's a real thing, though. I mean, that's under Tomlin. Like in games they're supposed to win, they kind of struggle sometimes, especially non-division. But man, when they're an underdog, they do raise hell. There's no getting around it. So that's interesting. And we'll save the Monday night ones for that. I want to hit on some of these big college games. Going to be a Twitter space with Kelly in Vegas and me tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern to go over the card. All right, some big college games for tomorrow. Penn State, Auburn. Penn State, 3-point favorite, over under 47.5 in the Barstool Sports book. I kind of lean under. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
The fact that this is the CBS 3:30 game kind of sucks. I think both of these teams are underwhelming.
The slate's weird in the sense that it's bad early. It's a really good late slate. Like the night slate is strong. I think the early slate is not very strong. So this is a game I told myself all week I was staying far away from this game. And I think today I woke up and had a revelation. I'm going to bet Penn State.
I like Penn State too.
I don't know what it is. Even College Football Show comes out tomorrow. I heard Casey asked me about it, and I was like, I don't think I would bet the game, but I lean Penn State. And then now I'm sitting here saying I think I'm going to actually be on my card. I just think they're way better. I think
they're way better.
Really,
Auburn's bad.
I think they're much better.
I don't get how Auburn's bad.
They're just not good.
No, I'm
they're bad because they're dysfunctional. They have one of the most dysfunctional athletic programs in the country because they have these boosters that have too much power. Like Billy Napier was at UL Lafayette and said no to going to Auburn because of how their athletic departments were. Think about that.
So I didn't know that.
No, they just fired their AD. Yep. All the boosters wanted Brian Harcine out. He's going
to be going after this.
Oh, yeah. But it's been like this forever. Auburn's always been like super dysfunctional because the boosters have too much power. And it's still that way. And they've got like the Bama inferiority complex. It's just a weird –
and then
the whole thing's a weird deal.
Quickly, too, you talk about the athletic program. They're another one that's sneaky, never been good in college basketball until the last 4 or 5 years. Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Pearl was why.
I know, yeah, for sure. But, like, you're a major athletic program like that. You got to be good.
Well, I think SEC as a whole kind of made this
yeah.
Damn, I know Arkansas in the past has had some good years way back as well, but I feel like they've all kind of all made this weird let's go after basketball. Why not?
And they've got bigger coaching hires. The only thing on the Auburn Penn State, I might go first half under because I think Auburn, what they have, their defense will play freaking hard in a national game at home and keep them in it. I just don't know they can move the ball in Penn State.
And Penn State's good defense too.
Oh yeah.
And I just think even I thought that was a really gritty gut check win against Purdue. And honestly, I think I'm gonna be crazy. I think Purdue's better than Auburn. Not that the math always equates like that, you know what I mean? But
hell of a lot better on offense. I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. I think Penn State's gonna be on my card.
All right, let's touch on.
Who's in the West too, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win that?
Yeah. God bless. Illinois.
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota might.
Probably Minnesota, honestly.
Think they'll win it running away?
I mean, everyone else is shit in the bed. I don't know who to.
Northwestern, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Purdue, Nebraska.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, if I had to pick one right now, seeing what I've seen, I would have to pick Minnesota.
Then you guys will probably be laying 21 in the championship game?
I mean, no, our biggest games are everyone before that.
Yeah.
I'm saying we got to play
blind
Penn State,
against
Michigan, all these
100% blind. Whoever comes out of that, it's most likely Ohio State. You're going to be laying 3 touchdowns.
I remember the Northwestern game, they were laying 24 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They didn't cover.
What would you be laying against Iowa? I don't care how
Probably
good Iowa's defense
17
is.
to 20.
I think that's a discount.
Neutral field.
That is just wild.
And I like playing at Iowa. It's great to play them in Indianapolis because that's that fast turf, and they just don't got wheels like we do.
No, that's 100% a fact. Oklahoma, Nebraska, we talked a lot about Brandon Walker this week. That's the noon game. Do y'all all still smell the rat on Nebraska plus 11? Are y'all going to be able to hit submit, or is this stay away?
Nebraska's going to be on my card.
I'm going to take, I took it for pick 'em. I'm not betting it, but Nebraska. I would lean Nebraska. And you're going to know very quick. I think Oklahoma, if Oklahoma's not up 14-0 in the first quarter, you're going to cover.
I like Nebraska too. I think they're going to jump. Oklahoma's had slow starts the first 2 weeks too, a little bit.
Well, Kent State ran out the clock on them.
That's the only thing that scares me is where there's a world where Nebraska's up 3.5, and then all of a sudden they just lose by 17. You know what I mean? But I'm going to take a shot. I'm not going to go huge. It's a 1-unit play, but an official play though. If they get the doors blown off, so be it.
I'm gonna.
I don't love the early slate either. Like I'm looking for some action in the early slate. I think that's gonna be at least one of my noon plays. So
does anybody have a Georgia's 25 at South Carolina? Obviously, South Carolina rough week last week. I mean, I'm probably punting money. I might take the 25 here. I'm thinking about it. Thinking about it.
First half, Georgia. They can come out and step on your neck.
You think? Yeah. You think? No way. Early game at South Carolina.
Over as well. Game over as well.
Okay, it's 55. And
they gave up like 44 to Arkansas. I know Arkansas is pretty good, but like Georgia can do whatever the fuck they want in this
I've
game.
been gradually leaning as weeks on like more and more towards even just that Georgia might be a team like what I don't give a fuck what the number is. Lay it. They just lay the hammer on teams. I mean,
they're so physically imposing.
No, and they can. And this year, like Bennett has impressed me so much. Like they can really score.
Rattler doesn't look good at all.
Not great.
No, he's gonna be under.
No, I mean, I think anyone's gonna struggle with Georgia's defense. I think it's the best in the country. Again, they had to reload so much. I don't even think it matters.
Cal, Notre Dame. We all know what's going on with Notre Dame. Notre Dame's an 11-point favorite. How about this over under, guys? 40.5 at a college football game on the Barstool Sports book. Don't see that one outside of an Iowa game too
or
much.
Military academies.
Yeah, I mean that's a rough one. I mean, does anybody have a thought? I mean, Notre Dame's got to win this game. Literally, they can't live.
Yeah,
I mean, Freeman's on the hot seat. They lose.
It's Wilcox out in Cal.
Yeah, the old Wisconsin and Washington defensive court. Good defensive. He's a good defensive mind.
He's been pretty good too. Like, what are they getting? 10.5.
11.
Yeah,
11 in front of him. I probably lean with Wilcox and Cal.
There's part of me that wants to be contrarian, just like get nuts and take Notre Dame because what do you think? All right, so they obviously play like shit. They lose to Marshall. What do you think this number is if they beat Marshall? 17?
14.5 or 15. Over 14.
Yeah.
There's part of me that wants to get contrarian and buy low on Notre Dame because.
But I think it went down because Notre Dame's not that good. I get what you're
saying.
not.
They're not for sure. I mean, they're not. Definitely not as good as we thought they would be. At least. I'm undecided if it's going to be like an official play, but there's part of me that wants to play them just because you're never going to get them as low as they probably are right now.
That's fair.
I think I like Cal.
Two other games I want to touch on before we get into, and obviously if y'all want to bring any up, feel free. I'm not trying to. The floor is all of ours. Mississippi State, LSU. So I'm going to do a parlay that I'm going to share a bet slip. Both the big Louisiana ones. LSU's a 2.5-point home dog, and the Saints are 2.5-point home dog. They're both rat lines. Tiger Stadium Saturday night, Rockin' Superdome Sunday. Backs against the wall for Louisiana teams. Brandon Walker's been about to crap his pants all week talking about the State LSU game. Y'all heard what he said?
Yeah, he
literally is just like, I can't believe State's laying points. I have zero faith at all in State going down there. I'm going to take LSU as a home dog here.
Isn't Leach bad as a favorite too?
Yeah, he is, even though the first 2 weeks graded. Memphis and Arizona both stink, but State has taken care of business. You got to give credit on that. But I think Kelly's a good coach, and I'm taking LSU plus 2.5. I'm actually going to do a Louisiana. I'm going to share the bet stuff. LSU money line and Saints money line is like plus 360 parlay. I'm going to share it in Louisiana and see if I can get the Louisiana people on it this week.
I love it. I love LSU in this game. This is also another one of those where I think they in that Florida State game left such a bad taste in the public's mouth. People are going to not want any part of them. Like I said, Brian Kelly is a very good coach. I think they're much better than how they played in that game. I think Florida State was also better than people, and is better than people anticipated. I love LSU. LSU strong play. I really like LSU in this game.
I do too. A couple more to hit on. BYU Oregon. This is one of those games, and Ev, I know you think everybody thinks like this. Like you start out in the week and you have an opinion, and then your opinion evolves. The closer this gets, the more I like Oregon.
Me too.
I love Oregon.
BYU is very dependent on their weird home field in Utah. They are tough as nails at home. But Oregon's good at home usually. That's a weird one up in Eugene. BYU's got the injuries at receiver. They're coming off a double OT win. Just the more and more I think about this as this game gets closer, the more I like Oregon Anyone have thoughts?
I like Oregon a lot. They're kind of a similar where I know it wasn't standalone, but everyone they got murdered by Georgia. Different animal. You brought up a great point that I love talking about. Playing at Provo and not playing at Provo. Two totally different animals for BYU. You just get two different teams. They're very good, still very talented. I think Jaron Hall's a great quarterback. They showed even without the receivers, they got the kid 27. I forget he had a phenomenal game in that Baylor game. I think the line just tells you a lot. I think there's a few of these lines, and I pretty much decided I'm going to take all of them. There's like this one. I'm sure we'll get into like the Washington game's kind of a similar spot.
You just transitioned. That was I think
I
like Washington.
I'm going to take both of them. Oregon, you mentioned Oregon has a phenomenal track record at home. I'm going to take Oregon.
I'm on that, and I like Washington as well.
I am as well. I'm going to take Washington, even though that scares me. But I think that's a tough, especially for Michigan State. That's a tough travel game. Washington's also one of those plays like a weird tough place to play. Night game. I'm going to take Washington as well. Also, I've watched Washington in the games. I took Kent State in the first game. They didn't cover. Washington covered.
Kent State should have.
They haven't played anybody really. They played two games. They're bad teams. They blew them both out. But just like eye test, the offense looks much better, much better than it looked last season. I know obviously the Big Ten guys, like we love DeRose Penix. He looked terrible last year, but he was playing hurt. They played two shitty teams, but he's looked good in eye test. So, and also I don't think Michigan State. I like the quarterback, offense decent. I think the defense has holes, and I do think in Washington they'll be able to exploit some of those in the passing game. So, I'm going to take Washington.
I might look at the over on that one too because I think
I
think there's value on Washington overs right now because
they gave up some points to Kent State.
Yeah, but they couldn't score last year, and so they literally.
Yeah.
And so now they're an over team. All right, let's get to our picks for the day. We got a couple college football games for tonight. Florida State 2.5. Man, I keep coming back to these road 2.5 point favorites. They're everywhere lately. Yep. Florida State 2.5 at Louisville. Louisville off a big win, bounce back win over UCF last week. Florida State, we all saw them beat LSU. This is a big one at Louisville. You got to think Louisville's fans are going to be fired up tonight. I guess Ev, you want to start us picks?
Yeah, the first home game. I'm going to take Louisville. I'm lucky. I got the 3. It's moved around a little bit. I got +3. And this is tough for me because I like Florida State. I just think it's a tough spot. At home, I think Louisville, another one. I don't think they're as bad as they looked against Syracuse in that first game. I also like the under because I do think Louisville's defense is sneaky, not that bad. I know Florida State's defense is pretty good. So I'm taking the under as well. And I like Wyoming. And the reason I like Wyoming, it's a low total, big spread. Air Force, they're going to burn some clock. Wyoming's the other one. They looked really bad in the Illinois game. They've came back with these. They beat Tulsa. If they played the other game, they won. Just think it's a lot of points for a academy team, even though I think Air Force is very good. It's at Wyoming. I think we get a good effort out of them. I'm going to roll the dice to take the points.
Army's tough to go up there, too.
Yeah.
I'm on Air Force's team total, so we could both win. But,
go ahead.
they let them run all over them. And Air Force now with this option attack, you got a week to prepare for that. That's fine. You can cover. I'll take it. I'm on Air Force over 30.5. D-backs Padres over 8.5. Brewers Yankees. I thought I put over 8. Yeah. Brewers Yankees over 8. I'm also the Fireball pick of the day. Is Brandon Nimmo to hit a home run +700. He's got a little more pop than he has in the past couple of weeks.
That's bounced back last night.
Yeah, we needed that one.
Yeah, I know that Cubs series is rough. Marty Bush picks for the day.
I just got 3. I got Florida State. I love Florida State today. I think Travis is really fucking good. I got Yankees money line and Mets -1.5.
All right, I'm riding with Ev. I don't really know what I think about the two games that well tonight, so I'm just taking both home underdogs, kind of just strategy-wise, Louisville and Wyoming. And I took the Cubs by a 1.5 with Stroman pitching at home against the Rockies. Ebo, I want to pick your brain. What you looking at for this weekend after you get all the money lines on that Fun Belt? You got any guy you want to share with us?
I like Toledo to keep it competitive with Ohio State. Not saying they are going to win, and I'm going to go back to the Weldon Spencer Rattler.
Okay, I'm going to probably take the South Carolina
bet
+25.
Spencer Rattler?
What? I'm going to be betting on South Carolina +24.5.
Yeah,
that's fine with me.
Y'all see the Sun Belt put a big billboard up at Times Square? Anybody see that?
I did see
the Fun Belt.
Yep.
The Fun Belt's made it to New York.
I don't know how many people from New York actually go to Sunbelt schools. I think maybe JMU is the only one. But
that's weird. Like, yeah, you could say, we
Coastal.
made it in Times Square, but that's kind of
I know these guys are coastal.
That's weird.
I just think it's kind of fun. I don't know. I'm just
Like, I actually-
Sun Belt. They're showing chest out.
Yeah, I
Can't
just think
blame them for that.
it would cost less, and it's more of a flex to do it on a highway in Nebraska or a
Yeah.
highway outside of Texas.
I just think they're trying to say in New York they're going big time. You know.
You'd be surprised.
I don't
know. Like I talk about a lot of Northeast with the coastal kids. Kids like to go south for college. I don't think it's a terrible play.
A few things, like I said.
Wait, hold on, Minty. I got one for you.
Okay.
Fulham this afternoon. Fulham plus 150, and I don't know what the odds are. I was trying to look for it on the sportsbook. I would go Fulham at away from home at Nottingham Forest. Chief, close your ears. Plus 150. I would also pick as a player prop Alex Mitrovic to score in that game.
Thank you, Zaw. I think I'm.
Fuck.
You got me.
Fuck, Zaw.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, plus 150.
I like the enthusiasm. So
Zaw hasn't talked about a pick in a year.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
All of a sudden, he brings that one.
add Fulham plus 150 to my card.
So I'm starting to join. I'm going to join the boys, talk a little Premier League action on Friday afternoon. So that's why I was looking at the pick games. So
Hell
look
yeah.
out for that.
Hell yeah. So stay tuned. The Yak up next, live from Las Vegas with Dave and Dan and Robbie. Should be a hell of a show. The Zone, Canelo, the trilogy. Make sure you check that out. Dave and Dan on the call tomorrow night. Live college football stream for LSU Mississippi State tomorrow. And then obviously we got a big Sunday. Huge football weekend. Thanks to Zah and Ebo and our crew as always. Appreciate you guys. Marty, Ev, Rico. Stay tuned. The Yak is up next. Let's win all our bets this weekend, damn it.